To answer the first question, I hate him, but I know that's not a believable answer, so I think I will elaborate. Italia has always been a goddamn ghost haunting me that I can't escape. My school was obsessed with it, and I don't mean just the anime people, though they were the worst offenders, exhibiting almost cultist behavior to the point that there was almost a sort of a forced assimilation into that subculture, entailing being assigned a fucking anime character. I was assigned Canada. My brother was Austria, surely the latter being a faulty diagnosis, and so I basically became dedicated against them, even those who were my friends. After middle school, however, my animosity towards them lessened, since I ended becoming friends with a whole lot of them, but that hatred was still present. Liz and I would spam our friends with awful shit we find on Tumblr, and was doubly awful to the friends who hated Italia in the first place. This was basically my interaction with the online fandom, though it was all laughable to me, and thus I did not and would never take the fandom seriously enough to even consider taking part in it. It is through this series of interactions that I learned more about fandom, what it entails, and who the worst characters were. Turns out, Prussia was the easiest to hate and make fun of, liked by a large majority of the fandom, and also a stateless nation, thus limiting its association primarily with anime, unfortunately. In a sickening act of revenge for me being a jackass, Liz draws ship out of Prussigan and Prussia, and of course I react accordingly. Prompting such a strong reaction of abhorrence from me, Liz decided to press further, using Prussigan as a threat against my sanity. Writing fanfiction, drawing incriminating images, and spamming me with awful, that is incestuous artwork. At some point, I let my guard down, and somehow fell for him despite previously identifying myself as asexual/aromantic. Perhaps that was a result of my masochistic behavior, but of course due to my prior identification, I did not notice until it was far too late. I remember Liz saying something nondescript about Prussigan, and I felt my heart twang, and it was in that moment that I knew that I fucked up. I must have went through the 5 stages of grief a million times over, for that next year or so. I kept it to myself for such a long time, in nearly constant denial, until one night I could not sleep and could not possibly keep to myself about it anymore, and I confessed to Liz and possibly a few other people. No longer did that awful secret eat at me, but the little did I know, the grievances against me were only barely beginning. I admit to my soon-to-be boyfriend about this terrible sin, and he takes great pleasure in making me embarrassed because that ass thinks it's cute. Oki drives me absolutely insane with it, with constant taunting, and soon Liz joins back in. Shortly after, I leave the commentary community and embrace furry and pony artists, and it's only a matter of time until they all know about it as well to massive confusion. Turns out most people don't care for terrible 2011 anime, or know what Prussia even is. I am literally drowning in my own chagrin and shame, and it's the complete and utter irony of the situation that out of my friend group of exigiboos that I'm the only one that remains standing, when I was initially so against them. The complete paradox that is the entire situation just completely destroys my soul and fills me with pure concentrated fucker when people just inherently know about it without even having to meet me. It is through this that I feel such an unadulterated love and hatred towards him. It is just a strong emotion that is difficult to describe, and is why this response is so long. It is me defending myself, trying to justify all of the awful things the universe has done to me. Italia will forever be a stain on me, and I welcome it now.